Hello, my name is John, and today we're once more in the F-86 Sabre cockpit, and we want to look at how to engage airborne targets with the air-to-air missiles. And let's get started. Basically, down here again on the armament panel, we want to switch into the missile mode, which I will do now. And as you can hear, immediately the seeker tone comes online, which you might already know from, for example, the A9 on the A10 or similar weapons. And we can, the first thing I normally do, we can adjust the volume on that with this knob over here, so that we just can barely hear it, but it's a bit of an annoying sound. We don't want it to be loud. And this panel here is mainly everything we can do with our missiles. It has just one switch, and this switch allows us to select which weapon we want to fire. In the upper position, the left hand rock missile is fired first, and on the second squeeze of the trigger, the right hand missile is fired. In the middle position, the right hand missile is fired first, and then the left hand missile is fired. And in the salvo position, both missiles are fired with one squeeze of the trigger with about a delay of half a second. And I think the default position is the right hand missile, but I guess if one of them fails to fire, you can use this panel here to fire the other one nonetheless. Then this light over here, as the name says, G limit, it says when the aircraft is pulling too much G, and the missile probably cannot keep up with that after being launched. So whenever this red light is on, you would not want to fire. And then we have one more button here, and this is the safe launch. It's basically a firing of the missile without the seeker head armed, which you can use, for example, if you cannot extend your landing gear and you want to do a belly landing. You would probably want to get rid of the missile somewhere over a big forest area or a lake. You can use this button here to fire off the missiles basically unarmed. And this is actually all we need to do for preparation of the missiles. One more thing which is quite useful is to unlock again the sight to get ourselves the radar range, because the GAR-8 missile, which was later redesignated in the A9B missile, has a maximum range of about 4.8 kilometers, but it's generally recommended to fire at a much smaller range than that, because obviously those are quite old missiles. Their performance is not quite that good, especially on a maneuvering target. So maybe fire it at a kilometer if you can, or maybe even less if possible. And let me spawn in enemy airplane ahead, and then we will go ahead and unpause and engage that. And there is the aircraft flying away from us. Let's give it a bit of a distance and now unpause and let's follow it. And as you can hear, the seeker down once I slew the bore sight, more or less the target pipper in locked mode. Our target is seeker down changes. And as you might see, the tracking range is quite big, so the actual lock-up range is quite small, but once it's tracking, it's quite big. So the seeker head follows the target, which is what you expect. So once you have it in a steady tone, you can maneuver a bit and still launch the missile successfully. We just want to get a bit closer than that, but I guess it will already do. And once we are within range in a few seconds, I will just hold down the main trigger for a couple of seconds until the weapon is released. And this should do range-wise. Let's hold down the trigger and just wait for the missile to fly off. And there it does. And this looks like a hit. The target didn't take too much of a damage of that. Let's fire another one and see if that helps. Just hold the weapon release button again. And there it goes. And as you can see, the seeker don't stop, because we don't have any more missiles. And we can call this a success. Rocket just going down there, pilot bailed. And that was all for today's video. I hope you liked it and leave comments. Thank you very much.